Welcome to a Star Wars review, and today I shall be reviewing the novelization of Star Wars Last Jedi by Jason Fry. So, I loved it. It excellently expanded on the movie. It gave us more details. It still did not give us certain details to fix everything, but I do certainly think it greatly improved on the movie. And if you have not read the audiobook or listen to the book, you read the audiobook and listen to the book. Okay, well, you know what I mean. If you have not gotten your hands on and read or listened to the Star Wars Last Jedi's novelization, whether it be you read the book or listened to the audiobook, I highly recommend that you're doing so, which explains why I gave it 5 stars out of 5. And I gave it that many stars because it precisely built off of the no, the movie and fixed a lot of the errors. Like earlier, and this review will contain spoilers for both The Last Jedi and The Last Jedi novelization. You can't get away from it. Some of these I may actually create videos separately, but like early on in the book, they set up why the hyperspace ramming by the Radis worked, and mentioned that how the shields were experimental. First of all, which was nice to know. Like these are experimental shields, and then of course they also mention, like they did in the movie, but again, knowing that the shields are experimental, mention that the supremacy has some the computers for calculating for hyperspace tracking are in a hyperspace stasis field or something like that. And so like, okay, the shields and that, like, so they essentially come out here saying this is not a tactic that would normally work. And the novelization alludes to the fact that that there's a lot of safeties that had to be undone, had to be disregarded, taken offline, just so the Radis could actually make that jump. And the Radis only had those coordinates in because of Poe's mutiny, and set that up pretty well. And it even kind of alluded to the fact that the safeties may still kick in, even though they are those overrides to disregard them. That they could still kick in, which I thought was like, it's so desperate that it's very desperate of a move for them to do. And like they mentioned how like more than once that the resistance does not have that many resources that they're available, and that this had to be done out of desperation to protect the transports. Probably the original goal was for, I'm guessing, would be for Holder piloting the Radis to continue on straight past Crate and probably jump into hyperspace. That's probably was the original kind of plan, I'm guessing, or something, or maybe at some point turn around and fight and lose, but it was kind of nice to see that. I also, yeah, and there's a lot of other stuff too that it reveals a lot that really helps build on. I think it did an okay job of building on and somewhat justifying the Canto Bike art. But I think the movie is all you need to justify it. People say, oh, that was pointless. Yeah, that was the point of the Canto Bite arc, to be pointless. And I think they kind of, the novelization definitely reminded me of it, but it was certainly in the movie as well. The resistance was desperate, for crying out loud, and mutiny took place. You know things are rough for the resistance. And what the novelization does kind of reveal somewhat, the movie does this too, but that they were taking anything they could do to possibly save the resistance, and they were ultimately failed. But we didn't say going to Cloud City was pointless for our heroes in Empire Strikes Back. That wasn't pointless, but yet it was. They failed. Darth Vader, Luke went to Luke went there to save his friends, and he failed. They saved themselves, and yet it wasn't pointless because of the big reveal. I don't understand. So, going to Bespin, going to Cloud City was pointless until what was revealed. And what was revealed here in The Last Jedi, that the First Order is at the height of the power, they control everything, and the Resistance is in desperate need of help, that they are very desperate. That is what The Last Jedi is showing us. I don't understand how people can say the fact that the heroes, that the canon bite arc was pointless was because the heroes failed. That's just lame arguments. And thankfully I have not heard the failure argument that often, but I'm sure it's in a lot of people's minds. But they say it didn't contribute to the plot a lot, which is understandable. It didn't, but it did. You just gotta think about it a bit more. You gotta think that what did it contribute? Oh, it shows us that the Resistance is in a desperate situation and things are not going their way. That's what it is showing us. At least that's what I'm thinking it shows us. And the book, the novelization, does kind of get to that point. But there's one way they could have greatly improved the arc for Canto Bight. Okay, they contact Mars. So it was Finn's idea. Okay. But you know what, instead of having Mars involved in a fight in union disputes or whatever, which The Last Jedi kind of goes more into Mars's mindset doing that, which I think was kind of neat. How for her like she can recall the times her life was in danger, and all that stuff. That was kind of nice to see, but they could have improved it a lot. One thing I think they should have done was not even implied that Mars could do it. I think would have been better for her to know somebody who has done it. But when they contacted her, they should have contacted Mars and revealed that Lando's with her. Get Lando a brief cameo. Yeah. No. And then Lando could say, the Martian, I probably know some people, and then Lando could have interjected, say, yes, I know a guy too, he's probably over in Canterbury, lovely city, something like that, because that's more within, I think, Lando's personality, that suave, the gambling. I think that's something Lando would know better, and I'm not the only person, actually I get this idea from somebody else, I forget who mentioned it, but I think if, Maz and Lando were part of this delivering, I think people would have been more accepting of the Canto Bight arc. I'm not so positive that would be the case, but I think that would have been good. So this has turned into kind of a quasi justification of the things in The Last Jedi, which I'm probably going to create a video on that someday if you guys express interest. But the novelization does do a good job at showing that there's more going on than what we just see. I did very much appreciate how I included some of the deleted scenes. That yes, why didn't they include them? With the Arcturus Islands native people, villagers, I forget their name, but that stuff that one deleted scene with them having a party and Luke's test to Rey. Why couldn't they have included that? I think that would have been such a good thing. I really do. And there's other things they really should have done as well to improve the film as a whole. That some of those deleted scenes. One thing I didn't like about the novelization is Captain Phasma's death. I really preferred the confrontation between Phasma and Finn from the deleted scene where to a group of stormtroopers, Finn says that with Phasma present that she that she turned the shields off for Starkiller Base, and then Phasma going to kill those stormtroopers to prevent them from saying, and then ultimately her dying, or apparently dying. As I said in an earlier video, I'd rather have Boba Fett come back than Captain Phasma. But, because really, most of Phasma's characters we know of come from a single novelization. Except for her her desire to survive that we see in The Force Awakens from her turning off Starkiller Base's shields, we don't get much of her characterization that we got from the novel. they should have included that. And they did not fix that in here, which even if they did, the film would still hold primary canon. But that would have been a good. That deleted scene would have been a good inclusion. We would have gotten to see more of the personality as we've known it from the Phasma novel. Speaking of which, my re-upload for the Phasma novel review will be out tomorrow morning, so be sure to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell to be notified when that re-upload comes out. And then the following day will be the re-upload of my review for the Captain Phasma comic, where we get to see who killed the only First Order officer who knew that he shut the shields down. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to be notified when those videos come out. The novelization also does so much more on building it. There's some things like, oh really, why did they have to do it that way? And though what the novelization does nicely is goes more into the head of Poe and Holdo and their perceptions of what's going on. Like it really we really get to see how Poe does not trust Admiral Holdo, Vice Admiral Holdo. Like we get to see that somewhat, but really getting to see it develop, and also know his reluctance to even attempt a mutiny. It's like, yeah. Now again, this whole that scene could have been handled a lot better. Like say, have like in the movie, I think like have like have it the resistance leadership have like express like maybe not tell Poe, but like have at least Holdo express to somebody that she suspects there might be a spy somewhere, somebody she truly trusts. Like that way it kind of like reveals her motivation for keeping this secret, or even tell that to Poe. The YouTube channel E.C. Henry actually gave me this idea, which is somewhat alluded to in the novelization, the idea that there might be an actual traitor on board working for the First Order. Is very, very likely alluded to, but I might have only come across that because I had that idea already in the back of my head. But that really would have fixed a lot of the scenes with Poe and Holdo. But one thing that it does show is the Resistance was not, Holdo was not a good leader in my opinion. Like, yeah, she had the right as a leader to keep things secret, but to a hotshot like Poe, that was not a good thing, because he's a hotshot. Now, the arc of Poe from learning to, Poe really did not have that much of an arc in the Force Awakens. If anything, maybe learning to be a hero. He was just there along for the ride, pretty much moving the plot forward. A MacGuffin, I think is the term. But he did not really have a major arc. Some people say he did. I really did not see him having a major arc in The Force Awakens. But in The Last Jedi, he does. You don't see it too much in the movie, but you do in the novelization. His arc was becoming a leader, knowing how to be a leader. And we do get to see that at the end of the movie, but we get to see that in his head in the novelization, that he's now learned how to become a leader, which, gives me credence to believe that he might be the top dog in the Resistance in Episode 9, because he's now he's learned to be a leader in this film. Which I think was a good character. He's a hero. He knows how to be a hotshot. Now he knows how to be a leader, which is important. Lots of the characters have arcs. Luke had an arc. The novelization delves deeper into Luke's motivation for his exile. A lot of people claim that was not within Luke's character, but I disagree. It was within his character. Remember, the character that it's not within is his Legends character. The Legends is, it's Legends. Quite literally Legends. Now, yes, Ahsoka did say in Rebels there's always some truth to Legends, but yes, there is some truth. Luke did try to train some people. He was powerful in the Force. Like, almost like, remember, there was a novel called The Legends of Luke Skywalker. And you know what? Show that the galaxy has legends of him that created expectations of him. Rey had expectations of him. It's the same expectations that we as fans had. Of course, yes, we should be disappointed as Rey was disappointed. I believe again the YouTube channel E.C. Henry a while back after The Force Awakens came out produced a video where he essentially claimed that Rey represents us. And it does continue into the Last Jedi, which we get to see, I think, a little better than novelization. Not so much that we're like learning to accept our new role in the part of the story. I think some fans did not accept it, as evidenced by the Rotten Tomatoes review, which a lot of people say, no, people who it goes against their way, what they're saying, will not use Rotten Tomatoes review if it goes against them. They use like, oh, the critics said it was good. It was good. Our expectations failed because we were just like Rey, in a way. Yeah, we were. Here's our expectations, and they're shattered. But I think what a lot of fans forget is that we can't just look at what our expectations were telling us. We also have to look at how well was the film. Like, how well did the film defy our expectations even? How well did they turn our expectations on our heads? We focus on legends, I think, in Star Wars way too much. Yes, there's lots of cool stuff. Better video games came out in the Legends era of Star Wars, for crying out loud. Yeah. But, we need legends, of course, but we also got to not let legends rule our perceptions of Star Wars. If the fandom follows the track of Rey, we should now be accepting that Star Wars, that legends are not what will be in Star Wars. It won't be ruled by what the legends are, which I think is a good message. But I just want to say one thing about Rotten Tomato for especially the audience score. It suffers from no response bias, which is a statistics term which essentially states that in a sample size you may approach 1,000 people to take a sample, but not everyone will take a sample, and opt-in surveys are the worst for that. What would be better in a way would be theaters. As you exit the theater, say, did you enjoy it? Yes or no. That would be in a way a better thing. Granted, that still won't be good because you'll get non-response bias. I may actually create a video about the problems of non-response bias, but I need some research into it, of course. But I'm talking about the Last Jedi novelization, not the film. But it's hard to talk about not talk about the film when the novelization is entirely based on the film. But if you loved The Last Jedi, go for the novel. If you hated The Last Jedi, go for the novel. If you're in between, go for the novel. Essentially, I'm telling you, go read the novel or listen to the novel with the audiobook. It really will help expand some things and review some stuff you really not think about the first time you watch the film. So I encourage you to go out and check the novel out. So this has been a long, rambling review of me also trying to justify a lot of the things in The Last Jedi. Maybe I'll create a proper video from that, but the novelization really is what got me thinking about about the things in The Last Jedi. And before I close, I just want to leave all guys with one little thing. Star Wars is no longer just the films. It never really was just the films once again became popular. It always has relied on the novelizations, video games, and comics to fill in the holes. Just like so, you gotta remember that. But I do want to say that The Last Jedi probably had a bit too much it was trying to accomplish, which I think did hurt it to a certain degree. Well, thank you for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and let me know in the comments down below, what did you think of the novelization for The Last Jedi? Thank you for, and if you want to check out my review for The Last Jedi, it will be linked at the end of this video and in the card. So thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you, always.